The reasons that we're here. Anybody out there who listening to this here? Michael Bennett, what's going on, brother? Important stuff, guys. Important stuff. Well, let's get it crunk up. I'm outside today. Feels good. Feels good. Spring break here in Texas, at least North Texas. Sup, Dark Wolf? All right, Aretha Jackson. Welcome from Beaumont. So shalom, shalom, people. Welcome to Beyond Babbitt. This is your host, Brian Anthony, reporting for duty. Brian Anthony with Beyond Babbitt, reporting for duty. And we are live! Excuse me. Well, guys, it's a lot of news. Yes, sir. A lot of news. So let's start at the top. We're gonna be everywhere, and we're gonna link it all together at the bottom. This is not entertainment. This is for our own good, yours and mine. So definitely the fifth where you say it's on the consciousness, you might be right. It's also on the physical. We're gonna get there. Okay, so now we know that, I'm gonna repeat what I had said a while back. I've been saying it for over a week now. Trump has made a deal with the Bushes. I'm looking in the wrong spot. I need to look over here. This is where the sun is. All right, Sterling, good morning. Praise Yah. All right. So we know that President Trump has made a deal with the Bushes. Right? This was reported by True News. This was also reported by William Mount, who's supposed to still be in the military and supposed to be high up and have some military intelligence. It's definitely evident because Nancy Pelosi, you know I like to call her Nazi Pelosi, has come out and said, we're not going to impeach Trump. What? You're not going to impeach him? Wait a minute. So you spent 2 years investigating everything he did, investigating everybody in his cabinet, just causing the ruckus, you and the Dems. Everything he did was suspect. Everybody, everything. And just, harass everybody who have on a MAGA hat and so on and so forth. Spent countless millions of dollars, and now you're not going to impeach him. Yeah. I mean, not that I want him to be impeached. I'm just saying, look at that picture. Why all of a sudden a change of heart? He's getting ready to run again. Huh? I'll tell you why the change of heart. It's because that deal was made with the Bushes. The deal was made. Exactly, Aretha Jackson. So, and this is the kind of deal I see. Trump made a deal just like Obama made the deal, just like Clinton's made the deal. We got to go and get the oil. We got to go and get the oil. Venezuela. So that's where we are now. And I'm going to tell you how serious that thing is getting in just a second. Let me scratch this off my list. So I wrote the list down. I got the notes with me. So the same thing's been happening since, I don't know, since the late 80s. Almost every war we've had since the late 80s, it's been for oil, for resources, except the stuff we did in Kosovo. I don't know what that was over. But all the other ones, they lie, give us false pretenses, tell us, oh, it's terrorism. Oh, they got weapons. Oh, this and that. Oh, they're bad. They did this to their people. Oh, so and so forth. Oh, they got to go. Regime change. It's all over the oil, guys. It's over the oil. Believe it or not. It's easy to believe. Just look at it. Just look at it. So the U.S. and its allies, it's getting hot out here. That sun feels good. Ooh, it's burning me up, but it feels so good. Ooh. So the U.S. and its allies are currently doing sub-hunting exercises in our oceans, around our continent, around our massive land, should I say. Submarine hunting exercises, because the Russians have submarines that Or it's like stealth submarines that aren't detected. Well, Sarah Evans, I haven't checked. Well, you know, the Gmail went down. I haven't checked, but I'll check it. Lord willing today. Lord willing today. So there are our military is doing submarine hunting exercises from the sky, from the air, with planes and helicopters and things like this. I don't know what type of technology they're using, that you're up there and you're going to see something under the ocean. I mean, who knows? But why all of a sudden? I'll tell you why. We're getting there. I'll tell you why. So did you know that? I'm sure we all know that. Even though I don't use Facebook like that, Facebook went down yesterday. Nationwide. No, I'm sorry. Worldwide. Facebook went down. Instagram went down. WhatsApp went down. All yesterday. I think that was an accident. I think somebody hit the wrong button. And then I found out that there were some radio stations that went down too in Kansas State. Radio stations, they've been around before we had the internet available to the public. Why would they go down? You see what I'm saying? Is it starting to make sense to you yet? And don't forget that today is the 14th, March the 14th. You know what tomorrow is? You got it, March the 15th. What does that mean? The Ides of March. Let that sink in. So I mentioned that Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and some radio stations were down. Gmail went down as well. And then some areas, Facebook was slowing down. Facebook was having problems. I'm sorry, YouTube. Gmail was down, and of course, Google owns YouTube. Yeah, Sarah Evans, exactly. Exactly. Sarah Evans is on it, guys. Not only is it the Ides of March, it's a Friday. What have we talked about on the Fridays? This is what we're getting to. So Gmail was down, and YouTube was having slowdowns and problems. Okay. So let's get to what Sarah Evans just said. Usually, when there's some type of bank run, economic collapse, something like that, it happens on a Friday. People knowingly go into the weekend all chipper and happy, thinking it's normal. Come Monday, you can't get your money. The ATMs are not going to work. You SOL, go to your job, it's a letter on the door saying, hey, we're not opening. The Ides of March is tomorrow. The sun is in my eyes, so excuse me if I'm squinting. Okay, so remember a while back we talked about Maduro told all U.S. personnel to leave, get out. And then Guaido and who was that? One of the U.S. generals said, we ain't going nowhere. Told them, we ain't going nowhere. This was over a month ago, maybe 2 months. They said, no, we're not leaving. We're not going anywhere. Well, guess what? The last of the U.S. personnel has left Venezuela. Just left the embassy, the U.S. embassy. Is that bad news? You know what happens when we pull our people out of these countries, right? You don't know? Yes, Devil Dog. Guys, it's closer than we think. It's closer than we think. Closer than we think. So let me tell you what else is happening, right? So the Venezuelans, it's been a week now, they're without power. A lot of it has been restored. Not the whole country has been restored. Oh, oil refineries exploding there. Interesting. I'm telling you guys, we're closer than we think. I'm not going to tell you, you know, because they're saying something's supposed to happen in November and all this. Oh, some people saying, oh, September and all this. No. The Ides of March is tomorrow. Let that sink in. So the Venezuelans, they've been without power for a full week now. But now some of the country is back up. Some states in the country have the electricity again. But remember what we said, what we talked about. At first, when it went down, it was the Stuxnet worm, like a computer virus. It was a worm. They got it back up. Then it was a virus that took it down. They got it back up. And then explosions took it down. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. And then Devil Dog just said there are explosions at the oil refineries now in Venezuela. Let that sink in. Okay? And so, here's the kicker, guys. Russia is saying, now you know that Obama gave away the internet. Obama signed away the internet, a U.S. creation, a military DARPA creation. He signed it over to a company called ICANN. You know, ever since they put the keys in or tested the keys, whatever they claim they did, they've been able to take whatever down a little piece at a time or take the entire thing down, period. Well, Russia, okay, Sarah Evans, yeah, I need to watch that. Hello, Jenny Holm. Okay, so Russia is saying that they're going to build their own independent. Exactly, Devil Dog. Russia is saying they're going ahead building their own independent internet. They're not going to use the www, the World Wide Web. And in case you didn't know, www is like 555-666 is the number affiliated with that. Russia say, we're going to try our own. We're going to totally separate from y'all's internet. Definitely, Jenny. Definitely. So, there's one reason why they don't want to use our internet anymore. Well, maybe two, maybe a couple, maybe a few. Because we can spy on them with our internet. We can hack their stuff with our internet. But if Russia goes to war with us and they want to destroy the internet, they don't want to affect themselves. If they want to take the whole thing down, they don't want theirs to go down too. So they have to be separated. Think about it. Let that sink in. And so the Venezuelans, when they turn on their water faucets now, oil and mud is coming through the sinks. Oil and mud. Those people out and just trying to find sewage water, trying to purify. I mean, you're going to get thirsty. Your body says you need some water. You're going to die. You're dehydrated. You're going to drink. You'll drink piss if you have to. I mean, excuse my language, but it's true. L1978, we're just getting started, but tomorrow is the Ides of March. Yes, the Russians do have ships, and the ships have been in our oceans. They know where they've been sailing over the lines. Our lines connect directly to the UK. Exodus, I saw something about that, not really familiar with it. I don't think it's going to happen. They haven't even let re-exit happen yet. So, now this could be related or it could not be. No, L1978. 13 billion? No, I didn't hear about the ghost ships. Maybe they're remote controlled. Well, we better be careful with that. We know that Iran has already hacked 7 of our 8 drones over there. Anything that's remote controlled, these countries have sophistication where they can get a piece of it. They can get a piece of that. So this may be related or it may be unrelated. Yesterday there was a school shooting in Brazil. School shooting in Brazil. Thought that was an American phenomenon. Let that sink in. 10 dead. 10 people dead. Now, Brazil is a U.S. ally. Drones in the ocean. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's bad. So Brazil and Colombia are like our allies. So who would go in and shoot up the Brazilian school? Well, I'm thinking it may be the Brazilians have been in on some of the stuff that we've been doing. Brazil and Colombia and Cuba. Well, I'm sorry, Cuba's on the Venezuelan side. But yeah, I believe that this could be retribution because the Russians and the Cubans, you know, Chinese are trying to stay so far out of this. But the Russians and the Cubans may be like, oh, okay, you keep sabotaging our, because Russia already told us, we are going to protect our oil interest in Venezuela with the military. We're going to protect and defend. See, they got a lot of oil infrastructure in Venezuela. They doing drilling. They got deals. They got all kind of stuff with Venezuela. If you thought this was going to be Saddam Hussein, you got another thing coming. If you thought this was going to be another Libya, you got another thing coming. You say you're having trouble in Syria. I wonder why. Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be ugly, guys. It's gonna be ugly. Because Russia is finally caught up. For a while, when 89, 88, when the Soviets fell apart, Soviet Union fell apart, Berlin, all that mess fell apart. Oh, they was selling. They needed money. They broke up. The Soviet Union, Russia, USSR fell apart. That's why it's the Russian Federation now. And they was selling their stuff on the black market. Suitcase nukes. You know, you had a few $1 million, they'd sell your suitcase nuke. Tanks, helicopters, planes, guns. That's how the AK-47 got spread all around the world. They were just selling everything. Fire sale. They needed money. Well, they done caught up now. They done made up for all that lost time, and they got technology that we don't have. They have technology that we don't have. And they're not, the Russians are not eager to get this thing started. Exactly, cold as ice. It's undercover. Okay, well, yeah, if we're calling names, please no name calling in the chat. So exactly, cold as ice, this is, and the war, you know how they say the revolution will not be televised, the last poets? Well, the revolution is happening in Venezuela. Independent journalists are getting rounded up, getting arrested by both sides, getting offed. Some things are going bad, guys. Okay, so the Brazil shooting, let's get back to that. I'm thinking it was some commandos, maybe some paramilitary, some black ops from the Venezuelan side. Maybe Russians, maybe Cubans, maybe somebody. But it's to let them know, y'all are secretly trying to invade my country, you know, Brazil and Colombia. Y'all with the enemies, y'all with the U.S. and the West, trying to invade our country when we supposed to all be Latin America. But we're going to do a little soft terrorism on y'all side. Because Maduro said they had caught some of the people who had sabotaged the electric grids. They didn't say who. Maybe it was some Brazilians or something. So let's stay on topic, guys, in the chat. So what's happening? I think it may have been Maduro's guys, somebody on his team firing back, because they know Maduro has already come out publicly and said that The U.S. is the one that sabotaged their electric grid in the first place. They know who's working with them. They know who their allies are. So, I mean, this is the type of secret war like Cold as Ice was just talking about. Okay, so check this out. Remember that the U.S. and China were supposed to be making strides and all this on the trade war. We're coming up on a deal. But guess what? They supposed to have been meeting. It's been pushed back. Oh, yeah, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt the looting is going on there, and it's going to continue. It's going to come here. You know, our military has also been planning to fight in the dark. They've been practicing flying with the transponders off, practicing fighting in underground tunnels, practicing fighting in the grid down scenario. They all know it's coming. We are the only ones who don't know it's coming. But we know it's coming. And matter of fact, we may even have a hint of how soon it's coming. Remember, tomorrow is the Ides of March. Let that sink in. So the U.S.-China trade talks between Xi Jinping and Putin and Trump have been pushed back to April. That's bad news. Yeah, thank you, L1978. Appreciate the appreciate the thumbs up, the likes. That does help it get out there, because I haven't heard anybody stringing all this information together. You hear bits and pieces, you know, but this is even a timeline. Just let what I'm saying sink in. Let it sink in. So the trade talks, the trade war between U.S. and China has been pushed back. Now, remember we talked about, not yesterday, the day before, how China had put out fake information about their economy in the first place. They had cooked the books. They made it look like they were doing a lot better than what they were actually doing. Let that sink in. So if you're doing that bad, why wouldn't you want to have trade talks like immediately if you think they can get the economy going? You know why? You ain't finna talk to the enemy. You're preparing. Remember, you got the little fat kid over here. That's the wild card that's finna launch a missile. Yeah, let's push this meeting back. We'll just push it back to April. When tomorrow is the Ides of March. Excuse me. Okay. Okay. Now let's talk about this plane, right? These new Boeings. They're only like 5 months old. The Boeing 737 MAX. We don't know what happened. Now, Ethiopia, I don't know if you know about this, but Ethiopian Airlines is the best airline, if not the only airline in Africa. It's their own airline. They own it. And it's nice. I've heard that the planes are so nice that if you sit in like, maybe it's first class or whatever, you can lean the seat so far back it turns into a bed, like a recliner. That's how much room you have. It's not like in, you know, these little jets here in the U.S. where your knees bump up against the seat in front of you. It's a luxury airlines. So don't think, when you think Ethiopian Airline, don't think it's, you know, no. It's not third world. It's first world, first class. And they bought these new Boeing 737 and something happened to the plane. Okay, so remember what happened in Malaysia? What happened to the plane? It just disappeared. There's been 2 planes like that just disappeared. And all of a sudden they just found one of them years after it happened. Oh, we found it. Come on, guys. Every major country in this world has satellites, has radars. Every plane that's flying got the transponders. How's a plane just gonna disappear? Just drop off. So now all of a sudden, first they said the plane went missing. It just disappeared. Then all of a sudden, oh, it crashed. They show a crash site, but where the parts to the plane at? Where the wings? Where the fuselage? You know, where the rest of the tail? All that stuff is there. But how did it crash here then? Why you say this is the spot? And they say, oh, the black box got damaged. I thought the black box was made to withstand a plane crash. All right, Jenny Hume. Well, thank you for joining. So, a plane crash. Think of a plane crash. Whenever you see a plane crash, isn't it fire and explosions? Or it's going to land in the water. The black box is made to survive that. They say, oh, well, it's gone. We couldn't find it or whatever. It's damaged. Oh, yeah. Convenient. Awfully convenient. So then, a lot of these other countries that weren't allies with the U.S., they started grounding these planes. That's like the third plane, one of the Boeings to crash within 5 months. And they're saying there's got to be something wrong with the planes. Well, the U.S. and its allies, no, they didn't do it. They waited till the stocks hit a certain level, and then at the same time, the U.S., Trump, and all our allies all decided to ground the planes at the same time. It's about the money, man. It's about the money. It's not about the safety. It's about the stock market. The stock rate. Who's gonna make the money off this stuff? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You're welcome, Charlotte Dennis. So think about it. I don't know if y'all know about the Titanic, right? We all heard about the Titanic. But the Hagmans, Doug Hagman to be specific, the Titanic a few years back. And he reported some of the people that were on the Titanic. The Titanic didn't sink on accident. It was not an accident. Those were people who were going against the New World Order, people going against J.P. Morgan and others. And just like 9/11, the Titanic was certain people who got that call on the boat. Don't get on the Titanic. Don't get on the ship. They didn't get on it. They survived. Just like the people who, the senators and stuff, don't get on the plane. Don't go to work, people at the building. Don't go to the building in the morning. Why? Just don't go. They survived. Thank you, L 1978. So the same kind of thing happened with this plane that fell in Ethiopia. There were all kind of UN workers, big people. Look up the names. These are major people from around the world. And the plane disappeared. They claim it crashed. I'm waiting to see some parts, some plane parts. Let me know it crashed. But the plane disappeared. And now they're saying it crashed. And to cover it up, it's a worldwide story. Oh, we're grounding all these type of planes. Before you ground them, show me the wreckage from the other plane. And since the black box, something wrong with the black box, it's got to be some airplane parts. You know what I'm saying? It's a pretty big plane, a 737. It's not going to vaporize in midair. It's not going to disappear like that. So, nah, don't trust it, guys. Don't trust it. There was some enemies got rid of there. There was some people that was on that plane and that some high-ups felt like they needed to disappear, so they disappeared. And you're not going to hear the truth for 50 years if we're still around. Okay. Now, remember, tomorrow is the Ides of March, right? March 15th. Information is out, guys. Brace for this. Brace. The UN is here. The United Nations is here. They have a lot of vehicles, tanks, Humvees, vans, all kind of stuff, stationed in Hagerstown, Maryland. Hagerstown, Maryland. New stuff. It's not old stuff. New stuff. New vehicles. You know why? Yes, Hagerstown. You know why? The blackout is coming. The financial collapse is coming. This World Party 3 is about to get kicked off. My guess is we'll watch the stock market tomorrow. Not far away, Sarah Evans. Not far away. They're telling us, oh, well, they're planning something for November. They're planning something for September. No. What are they planning for March? Why did they push back this meeting with Xi and Trump to April? Yeah, Sarah Evans. They're there. They even have the barricades. This is on YouTube. A guy aired it. He showed it. He filmed it. Two guys. One of them had a drone. And one of them walked up to the gate and filmed it. They have the barricades that say stop on it. Like they're going to have checkpoints. They have the other barricades, the roadblocks. Yeah, it's all staged. And don't forget about, they got the plastic coffins already ready. You forgot about that? They finna use this stuff, guys. Let that sink in. Tomorrow is the Ides of March. So, the point I was getting at, the economic collapse is here. So the stock market crash and all that. Nah, he's not going to wait that long, devil dog. Everything is staged now. Everything is enforced now. I forgot is some Air Force base in the Northwest. They said they're not going to fly. They've grounded all flights. They moved all to other Air Forces bases further inland. They said they're not going to fly any planes or any helicopters from there, from off of that base. Russia's testing new weapons, hypersonic missiles, torpedoes, tsunami weapons. That kind of stuff. So the financial collapse, the dollar's dead. Stock market, bond market looked ugly the other day. You know, the bond market is 100 times bigger than the stock market. If that thing goes, kiss it goodbye. I hope you got your hand on some silver and some gold and some on-hand cash, because the banks won't open. ATMs won't give out money. Oh, and anyway, they can hack the banks and take them down again and be like, oh, well, we're having a cyber problem. Yeah, 1978. This is it. The storm is here. The calm before the storm is over with. The calm is gone. The storm is here. Oh, and a new snowstorm is here. As soon as the spring hit, the Northeast is getting battered again with that snow and ice. Some winter storm. Oh, well. But guys, this is definitely time. Never said a prayer. You better do it now. Yeah, devil dog, that's a good idea. It might be a good idea to have one in your car, your house, your office, everywhere you're gonna be. They're not gonna give you a schedule. You might go out to the grocery store. Man, it's a cool breeze out here. They done blocked the sun. It's getting cold. It wasn't hot. Anyway, guys, tomorrow. Make sure you have on-hand cash. Hope you've done all your prepping. See, exactly, 1978. Yeah. Oh, another thing I found out. One of these food storage places that ships out the freeze-dried food, they got raided by the government. Rumor is the food was going bad within 5 years. They kind of had a 25-year shelf life. But the government made them turn over everybody's name on the food. Give me the names of all your clients. Give me the names of all your preppers. Yeah, it's windy. Anyway, guys, if you're prepping, you might want to freeze dry it yourself, vacuum seal it yourself, because if you're buying it from some company, if they get raided, they're going to spill the beans on you. Just think of what a Cohen did, you know, the president's lawyer. You're supposed to have lawyer-client privileges. But when they raided his office, he was in trouble. Oh, he went to rat. He spilled all the beans. That's supposed to be illegal. You're not supposed to tell that. Lawyer's not supposed to tell. He's not supposed to be forced to tell. Times like this is what you call lawlessness. None of that mess matters. Yeah, they dog fighting over there. Anyway, guys, stealth. It's time to move in stealth. It's time to move gray man. Don't tell anybody what you got. Don't tell them, oh, I got 3,000 ounces of silver. I got 10 years worth of food. I got 2,000 rounds for each gun. I got soap out the wazoo. I got water purification. No. Stealth. Only those who are in your circle, who you can trust, who y'all gonna bug out together, need to know this. Everybody else, kind of vaguely, ask them, you get prepared. Oh, I just heard this and that. Don't tell them what you doing, what you have. Because when it go down, they're going to come and take it. Shoebox in the backyard. Right. Anyway, guys, I'm finna go. I appreciate y'all joining in. Early. That's a good one, Shirley. Good one. Yeah, Wise Foods. That's who it was. That's who it was. They turned in everybody. They snitched. They gave out all the names and addresses. So if you bought from them, they might come to your door. Hey, you got some extra food. You know, on the mic report, they said people who had extra food, a week's worth of food, considered terrorists. Let that sink in. The UN Nations is here. United Nations is here. Let that sink in. Yeah, school's out, Sarah Evans. Spring break here, so. Anyway, Beyond Babbitt, your host, Brian Anthony, over and out. Beyond Babbitt, your host, Brian Anthony, over and out. Love y'all. Be